I never thought I'd go to war with my HOA president over a lemonade stand. But here we are. My name is Matthew. I live in Willow Creek Estates. One of those cookie-cutter suburbs where every lawn must be exactly 2.5 inches tall. I'm just a regular dad trying to raise my 8-year-old daughter Emma without turning her into a corporate drone. That Saturday started perfectly normal. Emma had set up a little lemonade stand at the end of our driveway. Fresh squeezed, pink sign, the whole cute package. She made $23 in 2 hours and was grinning like she'd won the lottery. Then Karen showed up. Karen Mitchell, president of the HOA for the last 6 years. The woman who once sent a certified letter because my Christmas lights stayed up until January 3rd. She marched down the sidewalk in her signature pastel blue pantsuit. Clipboard in one hand, fake smile stretched too tight. Behind her trailed 3 kids from the neighborhood, Timmy, Sarah, and little Jake, all looking confused and holding empty cups. "Matthew," she said in that syrupy voice that always meant trouble. "Your daughter is operating an unlicensed business on HOA property that's a direct violation of Section 4.2 of the covenants." I blinked. "Ma'am, it's a lemonade stand on my own driveway, she's 8. Karen's smile didn't reach her eyes. Rules are rules. No commercial activity without board approval. And since she didn't get it, she turned to the 3 kids behind her. "Go ahead, children. Take what you need. It's only fair." The kids hesitated. Then Karen gave them that look, the one that could curdle milk. Timmy stepped forward and grabbed $2 from Emma's jar. Sarah took a cup of lemonade without paying. Jake just stared at his shoes. Emma's little face crumpled. "Daddy, they're taking my money." My blood pressure hit the roof. But I kept my voice calm. "Karen, this is ridiculous." She lifted her chin. "Community sharing, Matthew. That's what HOAs are for. Teaching children proper values." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. She was literally using other people's kids to rob my daughter. That was the moment I started recording on my phone. Quietly. In my pocket. Something told me this was about to get worse. By Monday, the complaints started flooding in. Not to me, to the HOA board. Anonymous letters claiming my illegal stand was lowering property values, causing visual pollution, even attracting undesirable foot traffic. Karen's doing obviously. Then came the next level. She sent out an email blast to the entire neighborhood. Subject line: protecting our community standards. It accused me of exploiting child labor and teaching Emma poor ethics. She even attached a photo of Emma's stand with a big red circle around the commercial signage. I sat at my kitchen table staring at that email. My hands were shaking. Not from fear, from pure, unfiltered rage wrapped in disbelief. My wife looked over my shoulder. "She's lost her mind." "Yeah," I said. "But she's about to lose a lot more." I started documenting everything. Every email. Every text from neighbors who were suddenly concerned. Screenshots of her Facebook posts where she bragged about upholding standards against rogue elements. The harassment ramped up fast. Someone, definitely Karen, reported my trash cans being left out 3 minutes too long. Another fine for my dogs barking at 7:02 a.m. instead of after 8. Then the rumors started. Whispers at the community pool that I was anti-community. That I didn't care about my neighbors. That maybe I was teaching Emma to be selfish. Emma came home from school one day crying. Some kid said my daddy is a bad man because of the lemonade. That was the line. I stopped being polite. I sent a calm, professional email to the entire HOA board. Attached every piece of evidence I had collected, including the video of Karen instructing the kids to take Emma's money. "Dear board," it read, "I believe your president has crossed several legal and ethical lines. Please review." Karen's response was predictable. She called an emergency board meeting. No notice to me, of course. But one of the other board members, a decent guy named Richard, texted me the details. I showed up anyway. The meeting room smelled like stale coffee and desperation. Karen sat at the head of the table like a queen on her plastic throne. When I walked in, her face turned the color of spoiled milk. "Matthew, this is a closed session," she snapped. "Not anymore," I said quietly. "Since you're discussing my family, I think I have a right to be here." I played the video on the big screen. Clear as day. Karen's voice, "Go ahead, children. Take what you need." The room went dead silent. One board member, Mrs. Patel, looked horrified. "Karen, you told them to steal from a child." Karen started sputtering. It was community education, a teachable moment about sharing. I leaned forward. Sharing usually involves asking first, not sending kids like a miniature mob. Richard cleared his throat. "I think we need to vote on removing the president." Karen shot up from her chair. "You can't do that without a full member vote. It's in the bylaws." I smiled for the first time in weeks. Actually, Section 7.3 allows emergency removal for conduct unbecoming. And sending children to commit theft on private property? That qualifies. I had spent 3 nights reading every single page of those soul-crushing HOA documents. Turns out knowledge is the best revenge. The vote was quick. 4-1. Karen was out. She stood there, clipboard shaking in her hands. "You can't do this to me. I've given years to this community." I looked her straight in the eyes. "You gave years to controlling it. Big difference." The parents got involved after that. Word spread fast once the video leaked to the neighborhood group chat. Moms who had stayed quiet suddenly found their voices. They showed up at the next meeting with their own stories. How Karen had fined a single mom for having too many potted plants. How she threatened to report another family to CPS over a messy playroom visible from the street. How she once made a kid remove his basketball hoop because it disrupted the aesthetic. It became a full-blown parent revolt. At the emergency community meeting 2 weeks later, over 70 families packed the room, signs everywhere, "No more Karen control," and "Leave our kids alone." Karen tried one last power play. She stood up, voice trembling with righteous fury. "These people are destroying everything we've built. They want anarchy." A dad in the back shouted, "Lady, we just want our kids to sell lemonade without getting robbed." The room erupted in laughter and applause. The final vote wasn't even close. Karen was officially removed, banned from running for any board position for 5 years. And the bylaws were amended to prevent future overreach. I watched her walk out of that meeting hall, head down for the first time ever. Pastel pantsuit looking suddenly cheap under the fluorescent lights. The neighborhood felt different after that. Lighter. Kids played outside without fear of clipboard patrols. Emma set up her lemonade stand again the next weekend. This time, half the block came by to support her. She made $87 and donated half to the local animal shelter. Karen still lives here, of course. She waves now when she sees me. The stiff, robotic little wave that screams, "I'm plotting my comeback." But nobody listens to her anymore. The queen lost her crown. And the peasants? We're just enjoying our slightly imperfect lawns in peace. Sometimes I sit on my porch in the evenings, watching Emma ride her bike down the street, laughing with the same kids who once took her money. And I think about how a stupid lemonade stand exposed the rotten heart of suburban power. Turns out the real community standards aren't about grass height. They're about not being a petty tyrant with a clipboard. Karen learned that the hard way. And honestly, lemonade.